Welcome back, fellow deep divers. Sometimes I think the best mysteries are the ones that tap into something deeper, something that makes you question not just the events, but your own beliefs. And tonight we're going to plunge into one of those, a classic X-Files episode called Conduit.
It's an intriguing choice, especially for those of us who remember those early seasons. Conduit had that raw, almost primal energy, a mix of science fiction and something more, something that touched on the very essence of human longing and fear.
Right. It's like reaching back to that era when the X-Files was still fresh, still figuring itself out, and yet there was this undercurrent of, almost innocence before the mythology got so complex.
I think you've hit on something there. A rawness, definitely. And for viewers discovering it now, Conduit provides a sort of baseline, a glimpse into what drew people to the show in the first place. Two FBI agents, Mulder and Scully, facing the unexplained, each with their own perspective, their own way of looking at the evidence.
And in this case, the evidence, or at least the initial reports, point towards something that hits very close to home for Mulder. We're talking potential alien abduction, a scenario that resonates deeply with his own past, with the unresolved disappearance of his sister Samantha.
It's the wound that never quite heals for Mulder, isn't it? And it drives so much of his work on the X-Files. We've got our trusty Wikipedia entry and some script details for this deep dive. We're aiming to uncover not just the events of the case, but also those fascinating behind-the-scenes tidbits that add another layer to the story. Ready to go back to 1993?
Let's do it. The episode kicks off at Lake Okoboji, Iowa, right? A family camping trip turned nightmare. Darlene Morris, a mother whose world just shattered, finds her teenage daughter, Ruby, gone, vanished. Her younger son, Kevin, though, offers a chilling explanation. Taken.
Ah, yes, taken. And of course, the immediate question is, taken by who or what? That opening scene, those few lines of dialogue that just pull you in, set the stage for the mystery that's about to unfold. A classic X-Files hook.
Totally. But what I find fascinating is how this case instantly grabs Mulder's attention. He sees a headline in a tabloid, teen taken from tent by aliens, and he's on it like white on rice. He's requesting travel expenses before Scully even has a chance to say, wait, what?
That speaks volumes about his dedication, right? But it goes deeper than that. This isn't just another case for Mulder. It triggers something primal, something connected to his own loss. And here's where the connection to Samantha becomes even clearer. Mulder references the 1967 UFO sightings at that same lake. The very same lake. It's like, wow, the writers really layered those connections, didn't they?
They definitely did. And it turns out that Darlene Morris, the mother whose daughter just vanished, was actually a witness to those 67 sightings. A young Girl Scout, seeing something she couldn't explain. You could almost see those wheels turning in Mulder's head. He sees a parallel, a chance to maybe find answers, not just for this family, but for himself.
The scene shifts to the Morris residence, right? And right away, it's not just the missing daughter that's unsettling. Young Heaven, the son, is behaving very strangely. He's fixated on the television, the static, the white noise, and he's writing furiously, not words, but binary code. Like he's receiving some kind of message from beyond.
Yeah, talk about creepy. But you have to appreciate Scully's level-headedness here. She's like, okay, let's not jump to aliens just yet. And even the local sheriff, he adds that voice of reason. He suggests that Ruby might be a runaway, a rebellious teenager acting out.
And that's a good point, right? It's like a reminder that not every mystery has to be paranormal. There are often very human explanations. And then we meet Tessa, Ruby's friend, and she throws another wrench into things by claiming that Ruby was actually pregnant by her boyfriend, Greg Randall, and that they were planning to run away together. Talk about a plot twist.
Right. Suddenly, we've got multiple possibilities, and they all feel somewhat plausible. Abduction, runaway, elopement. The writers did a great job of making the audience wonder, keeping us guessing.
Absolutely. I read somewhere that co-writer Howard Gordon actually talked about wanting to create that uncertainty, that tension between the paranormal and the ordinary. They wanted viewers to constantly question, is there a rational explanation here, or is it something truly extraordinary? It's what makes this episode so gripping.
I agree. But then, things get even more complicated with Kevin's binary code. It's not just random gibberish. Turns out it's a fragment of a Department of Defense satellite transmission. The NSA gets wind of this, and let me tell you, they are not happy.
They arrive in full force, don't they? Searching the house, taking Kevin's belongings, acting all secretive and intimidating. It's like, okay, what are they hiding here? What's so important about this kid's scribbles?
The whole thing just screams conspiracy, doesn't it? But wait, it gets even weirder. Remember all that code the NSA confiscated? Well, they eventually decipher it, and this is where it gets really interesting. They find a mishmash of imagery and information. Da Vinci's Universal Man, the DNA double helix, snippets of Bach's Brandenburg Concerto, verses from the Quran, and lines from a Shakespearean sonnet. Like, what's the connection?
It's so bizarre, isn't it? The strange collection of human knowledge and artistic expression. It's like the writers were dropping subtle hints, playing with the idea of a universal language, a connection between science, art, and something beyond. Mulder even speculates that it could be a form of time division multiplexing, like multiple radio signals transmitted on the same frequency, each taking its turn to be heard. He suggests Kevin is somehow tapping into this jumble of information.
Very Mulder-esque, right? Connecting the dots, looking for those bigger patterns. But the investigation takes a darker turn when Mulder and Scully head back to Lake Okoboji. Remember those physical anomalies, the singed trees and patches of glassified sand? That's some serious heat way beyond a campfire. It suggests something very powerful, very strange happened there.
Yeah, and those visuals were so striking, weren't they? The glassified sand is a classic X-Files image, often associated with UFO landings or other unexplained events, but it's their next discovery that really sends shivers down your spine. They follow this white wolf like it's some kind of spectral guide, leading them to a shallow grave. And inside, they find the body of Greg Randall, Ruby's boyfriend.
It's a shocking turn of events, right? But the clues keep coming. They find an appointment reminder card in Greg's wallet, and the handwriting matches a threatening note that was left on their car. And guess what? The handwriting also matches Tessa's.
It all comes together, doesn't it? It's like a classic mystery where the pieces start falling into place. And when they confront Tessa, she cracks under pressure. She confesses to killing Greg, revealing she was actually the one who was pregnant, not Ruby.
Another twist, but even with this confession, the mystery of Ruby's disappearance remains. Tessa insists that Ruby wasn't with her at the lake. So where is she? Back at the Morris house, the agents find it empty, deserted. But then there's that chilling moment, the one that still gives me goosebumps even after all these years.
You're talking about the binary code, right? All those scraps of paper with Kevin's scribbles spread across the floor. But it's not random. It's a picture. Ruby's face, perfectly rendered in ones and zeros. It's both beautiful and terrifying, a silent message from somewhere.
That image is so powerful, so haunting. It's like a direct link between Kevin and his missing sister, a communication that transcends language. It pulls us right back into the realm of the unexplained.
The story then culminates at the campsite. In a rather unexpected scene, Ruby is discovered unconscious amidst a group of bikers. When she wakes up, though, she refuses to disclose anything about her experience, only saying that persons told her not to talk. Classic X-Files ambiguity.
It's frustrating, right? You want answers, but then we see Darlene, Ruby's mother, also refusing to cooperate. She mentions the ridicule she faced after her UFO sighting years ago, and you can understand her reluctance, her fear of being dismissed or labeled as crazy. The truth remains elusive.
And this is where the episode really digs into Mulder's character, his own unresolved trauma. As Ruby lies in the hospital, we see Scully reviewing a tape of Mulder under hypnosis, recounting the night Samantha was taken. It's juxtaposed with a scene of Mulder sitting alone in a church, looking at his sister's picture. It's a poignant reminder that every case, every abduction, is filtered through the lens of his own loss.
His final words on that tape, whispered almost to himself, "I wanna believe," encapsulate that desperate yearning for answers, for closure. It's heartbreaking, really. It's what makes Mulder such a compelling character.
Now, let's step behind the scenes for a moment. Conduit, despite its Iowa setting, was actually filmed in British Columbia, Canada. Beautiful scenery, but apparently some of the crew got lost in the woods during filming, a real-life X-File.
Oh, wow. I love that. Adding a touch of the unknown to the production itself. What about that incredible binary code mural of Ruby's face? Any insight on how they pulled that off?
It was painstaking work, honestly. The assistant art director, Greg Lowen, and a set decorator named Vivian Nietzsche hand-wrote every single one in zero. Talk about dedication. It's a testament to the detail that went into this show, even in the smallest elements.
It's amazing. It really adds another layer to the whole episode. Any other behind-the-scenes stories that you found interesting?
I dug up some comments from co-writer Howard Gordon. He talked about how he and Alex Ganser really wanted to focus on the characters and explore the tension between the paranormal and the ordinary. They saw this as a chance to delve into Mulder's search for his sister and were very happy with the ending, which highlighted Mulder's unwavering belief in the face of uncertainty. It's interesting to see how these ideas took shape.
Yeah, and it's fascinating to hear the perspective of Chris Carter, the creator of the show. Apparently, he loved the way this episode explored Scully's evolving understanding of Mulder. She might not share his belief in the paranormal, but she starts to see the depth of his pain, the personal connection he brings to every case.
And here's a little trivia tidbit. Remember young Kevin Morris, the boy who wrote all that binary code? The actor who played him, Joel Palmer, later returned to the X-Files in a different role in season 2. I love those little connections, those hints of continuity.
It's like the writers were planting seeds for future stories, even back then. Okay, so what about the episode's reception? How did critics and viewers respond to Conduit?
It did pretty well in the ratings, reaching a large audience. Critically, there were some mixed reviews. Entertainment Weekly, for example, gave it a bit of a lukewarm response, while the AV Club praised it for developing Mulder and Scully's characters and laying the foundation for Mulder's ongoing search for the truth about Samantha.
It's interesting how those early reviews often focused on the character development, right? It shows how integral Mulder and Scully were to the show's success.
Absolutely, and there's even some academic analysis of Duchovny's portrayal of Mulder in this episode. Some scholars have pointed out that his emotional vulnerability, especially when he draws parallels between Ruby's case and his sister's disappearance, actually challenges traditional masculine stereotypes. They argue that his openness and sensitivity become strengths, driving forces in his quest for the truth.
It's a reminder that the X-Files wasn't just about aliens and monsters. It was about human emotion, about grappling with the unknown, about the power of belief. Conduit, with its mix of paranormal intrigue and personal tragedy, stands as a testament to that.
So as our deep dive into Conduit concludes, I'm left with a lingering question for our listeners. Does this episode offer a glimpse into the very nature of belief, the way our personal experiences, our traumas shape our understanding of the world? And what does it say about the eternal struggle between skepticism and faith, between logic and the desire to believe in something beyond our comprehension?
Those are some big questions, but that's the beauty of the X-Files, isn't it? It makes you think, makes you question. For those of you now intrigued by this early chapter in the X-Files saga, I highly recommend watching Conduit. It's a classic for a reason.
And maybe explore those early seasons a bit further. You'll see how the show's mythology developed, how the characters evolved, and how the seeds for some of the most iconic X-Files stories were planted right there in those early episodes.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time, keep searching for the truth, wherever it may lead.
And remember, the truth is out there, somewhere in the static, waiting to be decoded.